هنتكلم عن انواع الصلاه.
5 types of prayer.
خمسه انواع.
First of all, fellowship prayer.
اول حاجه فيهم صلاه الشرك.
In this type of prayer,
ونطلب الصلاه
when we come to do it,
عشان نصلي
we are not coming to ask things, to request things, or to war or nothing. We come to have fellowship.
فاحنا ما قاعدين نجي لما نجي للصلاه، ما قاعدين نجي عشان نسال وعشان نجي نحارب.
We are coming just to make sure that we are coming to spend time with our God, our Maker.
احنا بس لما نجي مع بعض بنتاكد ان احنا عايزين نقضي زمن.
We spend time with Him because we know that in Him, in His presence, is when we can be able to be saturated and filled.
لما احنا عارفين في محضر بتاعه احنا اللي بنتملوا
Because we come from His presence, so we can be sustained by His presence. As we fellowship, we only come to spend time with our God, with our Maker.
واحنا قاعدين نكون في الشركه بس قاعدين نجي لان
So we can be like Him more. We can be like Him.
عشان نكون زيه.
Second prayer is that we are coming to request.
بانه احنا قاعدين نجي نطلب.
We can request for something.
اللي هو بنبقى احنا بنطلب حاجه.
And then God will give it to us.
بعد كده الله بيقدر يدينا له.
Those requests is not that we really don't have to do it.
لكن طلبات الله فعلا ما.
If He does them,
الله إذا عمل الطلبات
it's because you found faith in His eyes.
الله عمله لك عشان انت فعلا
because
ما في.
you were able to offer your requests very well.
لأنك انت فعلا قدرت انك تدي الطلبة بتاعتك بشكل تمام.
And because you were able to touch the heart of God. The third type of prayer.
نمشي للنوعية في الصلاة الثالثة.
This third type of prayer is called asking.
اللي هو انه نسأل.
Asking.
نسأل.
When we ask, it's mainly connected to the word of God.
وبعد كده لما نسأل ده متصل بكلمة الله.
It's connected to His will.
ومتصل بالمشيئة بتاعه.
And when we ask it, then we are sure we're going to receive it.
ولما نسأل احنا متأكدين ان احنا قاعدين.
And when we ask, we can ask for many things. We can ask for spiritual blessings.
ولما احنا نسأل ممكن نسأل عن حاجات كتير.
We can ask for spiritual gifts.
عطاء روحية.
We can ask even for abilities. Even we can ask for physical blessings.
مواهب روحية. حتى ممكن نسأل عن بركات.
Financial blessings.
وبركات.
We can ask for health.
حتى ممكن نسأل عن صحة.
And then at the end, also we can ask for clarification.
وآخر حاجة بعد كده ممكن نسأل عن.
If there are things happening in our life that we don't understand, we can also ask. We can ask, Lord, we want clarification. So that is the third type of prayer, which is to ask. And fourthly is intercession.
والرابع اللي هو ده التشفع.
Is that we are to stand the gap on behalf of people.
بعد كده بإنه إحنا نكون واقفين في الفراغ.
On behalf of your children.
العيال بتاعنا.
On behalf of your wife, on behalf of your husband.
وبرضه بالنيابة عن راجلك أو مرتك.
On behalf of the people you know.
أو بالنيابة عن الناس اللي أنت.
On behalf of the ones that's going to bring to your heart to pray for them.
بالنيابة عن الناس اللي الله بيجيبهم في قلبك.
There are many people will not pray if you didn't pray for them.
في ناس كتار جدا ما هيصلوا إذا أنت ما صليت من الجبل.
Some blessings that will not give them without your prayer.
وفي بركات ما هياخذوها.
Some people don't know how to pray. Some people don't know how to do things.
في ناس ما عارفين.
So God trusts you that you are to take the responsibility for yourself.
الله يثق فيك إنك تاخذ مسؤولية عنك.
So that is intercession.
فده التشفع.
And then lastly is warfare.
بعد كده حاجة.
Is that when you walk, it's time to walk.
وبعد كده بينه لما يكون وقت.
It's when you take things with force.
بينه لما تاخذ حاجات بالقوة.
That's when you uproot things from your life.
ده الوقت اللي أنت بتطلع حاجات من حياتك.
You uproot sickness. You uproot poverty.
مرض.
You uproot every infirmity, everything that is not of God. You take it, to remove it.
كله حاجات ما من ربنا.
Everything that is not of God, then you get to uproot it from your life, from your family, from everything that belongs to you.
أي حاجة ما من الله بعد كده بتدي.
That is not going to go easy, but by you just talking easily, it's not going to go easy.
فده ما هيكون سهل.
That needs require you to get serious with it.
وهيتطلب منك تكون جاد.
The spirit of poverty will not go by you just speaking to me easily.
الفقر ما هيمشي لو تتكلم تلوسة.
No, will not go easy.
ما هيمشي سهل.
The spirit of sickness will not go easy.
المرض ما هيمشي سهل.
The spirit of failure will not just go easy.
ربنا ده الفشل ما هيمشي.
No. You need wrestling, you need warfare.
لكن عايز حرب.
It needs intensity. There is no calmness when it comes to warfare prayer.
لما نكون قاعد نصلي الصلاة بتاع الحرب ده ما عنده هدوء.
It's not time where you are being nice, where you think you're cute, where you think that you need to pray in a nice way, in a nice voice.
فده مو وقت انت محتاج انك تحس انك انت كويس وانت لطيف محتاج تصلي بصوت
No.
واطي.
This is time that you're going to let the enemy know.
ده وقت توريك على عرض انك انت ما شخص سهل.
They will know from today this person I will not come across.
هيعرفوا بينه من الليلة زود ده أنا ما هقدر.
That's why the Lord Jesus said,
كده رب يسوع مسيح.
from the time of John the Baptist till now the king of God suffered violence.
كده رب يسوع مسيح قال من وقت بتاع.
That violence taken by force.
قال ملكوت
Not by kindness. Not by kindness.
قال
not by you being cute, by being very nice, very calm. No.
قالوا الناس الذين ينزلوا
You
الغاصبون
need to be violent.
ده ما سهل لانه قال بانه
That's when you pray, you don't care about what makeup you're having, what things you bring on, what clothes you have.
عشان كده لما نكون قاعد نصلي ما صلاه احنا محتاجين انه نهتم بملابسنا بالحاجه اللي احنا
In
عندنا.
that warfare prayer, you may find yourself jumping, you may find yourself moving your hands, you may find yourself standing in a specific gestures, in a specific position.
في نقطه الصلاه انت ممكن تلقى نفسك انت قاعد ترمي يدك باتجاهات ثانيه او واقف وقفه
You
معينه.
may find yourself even doing as if you're holding an actual physical sword.
حتى ممكن تلقى نفسك كانك انت شايل سيف حقيقي كده.
In that warfare, you may even find yourself being very loud.
حتى ممكن تلقى نفسك انت صوتك عالي جدا.
You will find yourself even saying things with power, with force.
تلقى نفسك كده تقول حاجات بقوه.
At that time, this is time for warfare.
انا دوت
You need to be wise. You need to allow the spirit to continue.
محتاج منك تكون حكيم وتخلي.
If not, then you already have lost.
لانك انت لو ما عملت كده انت هتكون خسرت.
If you're saying you want to start to look nice,
لو كنت عايز منك تكييف
if you're saying you want to continue to look cute,
وعايز تكون لسه تواصل انك تكون لطيف.
you don't want to sweat,
ما يستعرق.
then surely those demons will wipe you. They will teach you a lesson.
بيبقى اكيد الشياطين ده هيعلموك درس كويس.
When we come to that prayer, you will sweat.
لما تجي لنقطة الصلاة دي
You will be wise. You will be very serious, very wise, very loud.
هتكون جادي.
At that time, you don't care who's around you,
ففي الوقت ده انت ما تهتم بمن جنبك.
because it may be a matter of life and death.
لأنه ممكن يكون نوع بتاع الحياة.
It may be a serious breakthrough happening.
ممكن يكون بينه
It may be a birthing of a possibility.
ممكن يكون اختراع جدي حاصل أو ممكن يكون بينه.
The other person doesn't know what is happening with you.
والشخص الثاني ده ما عارف شنو حاصل معك.
You cannot think about the other person just because they're not praying like you. You want to calm down.
فأنت ما تقدر تفكر في الشخص الثاني عشان هم ما يوصلوا.
The other person may not having warfare as you're having.
فالشخص ده هو ما عنده حرب زي ما
The other person may not having a breakthrough that you're having.
فالشخص ده ممكن ما عنده اختراع زي
The
ما
other person may not even having the blessing coming to him as that is coming to you.
الشخص ده ممكن ما عنده بركات حتى نفس البركات.
The person near you maybe doesn't have much greatness as you have.
حتى الشخص ده ممكن ما يكون عظمة بقدر ما
It's that greatness that is being fought, that is having warfare against.
عشان كده العظمة اللي انت بتقوله ده هو اللي قاعدين يحاربوه.
Is warfare against your health, against your blessing, against your children, your family,
حرب ضد بركاتك.
against your destiny,
ضد أسرتك.
against your ministry,
وضد مصيرك وضد
against the will of God for your life.
حتى ضد مشيئة الله لحياتك.
Other people may not care about their destiny.
والناس الثانيين ممكن ما يهتموا للمصير.
Others may not care about their families or their children.
الأسرة بتاعهم ولا إياه.
Others may not care about their ministry or what
حتى ما
happened to
يهتموا
them.
لخدمة ضد الله.
So why would you care? Why would you come down just because others are not?
انت لشنو هتهتم للناس دي وانت هتحدي نفسك.
Whenever you feel that leading to go and to get serious and into warfare, you have to flow.
انت الوقت اللي انت بتكون حاسس ومحتاج وعارف انك انت محتاج تكون في حالة جدي انت محتاج منك.
It can come at any time.
محتاج انك تمشي بس.
There will be signs.
ممكن يجي في اي وقت.
You can start to feel burden.
هيكون في علامات. ممكن هتبتدي.
You can start to feel desire to pray. You can start to feel that there is a necessity to pray now.
بانه في ضرورة.
There is urgency.
وبعد كده في ضرورة.
There's no time to waste.
ما في زمن ما ضيعه.
Sometimes it could be even physical. You can even start to fear physical attack.
حتى مرات ممكن يكون تحس بانه.
Sometimes it can come in form of health.
هجوم مادي. هجوم جاي في الجسد.
Sometimes it's in form of finance.
في شكل بتاع الصحة بتاعك أو مثلا يكون في شكل.
Sometimes you can't even sleep.
وهجومات.
Sometimes the Lord even wakes you up certain time to pray.
ممكن يقوم.
He's telling you if you continue praying, there is something that is going to succeed. It's going to happen for you.
وبعد كده يبتدي يوريك منك إذا أنت ما صليت في حاجة.
It's going to give you burden.
عشان كده هبتدي يديك عبء.
That burden you need to be able to go with it and go with it.
العبء ده أنت محتاج تمشي بالعبء.
And use it and you start to
تستخدمه.
And as you pray, you're going to realize the prayer is different.
بينه الصلاة مختلف.
The intensity is different.
بينه بعد كده
Even the types of tongues you use is different.
الدرجة بتاعه مختلف وحتى النوع بتاع التدريس.
It comes to deal with this problem.
بعد كده عنده طريقة بينه يتعامل مع المشكلة ده.
That type of prayer doesn't require you to be calm or to be nice.
والنوع بتاع الصلاة ده
or even to postpone.
ما بيتطلب ما عايزك انك تكون لطيف.
You need to immediately to give with it.
عايز منه حاليا تتعامل معه.
So this is what we call warfare prayer.
وده اللي بيسموه صلاة بتاع الحرب.
There's other examples
في
that I
امثله
don't have time to go through.
انا ما عندي وقت عشان امشي فيه.
One of them is in Jeremiah 1:10.
واحد منهم في ارميا 11.
Jeremiah 1:10, where the Lord tells us about a type of a person that acts as a soldier, as a warfare.
اللي هو الله كلمنا عن النوع بتاع الشخص اللي هو يكون واقف.
He said, look, today I have set thee over the heathen of the nations,
قال منه انظر قد وكلتك هذا اليوم على الشعوب.
over kingdoms, that you may destroy them,
لتطلع وتحكم
to uproot and also to build.
وتنقذ وتبني وتورث.
This type of activity is a warfare activity.
النوع بتاع العمل ده او النشاط ده النوع بتاع الحرب.
How can you do that?
انت كيف هتقدر تعمل؟
It says, number one, that it says you're going to pull out, you're going to uproot.
اول حاجه قال بينك انت هتكون.
How can you uproot something is already there, it's already established?
تطلع حاجه وحاجه.
For you to uproot something or uproot tree, you need force, you need power,
تطلع حاجه انت محتاج قوه.
you need intensity.
محتاج درجه معينه.
That's only when it comes to warfare. You need power, you need intensity.
ده بس لما نجي للحرب انت محتاج.
It says that also you break. How can you break and bring down buildings that already have been established?
كيف بعد كده بيقول تحتم؟ كيف بعد كده تحتم؟
You are going to find resistance.
لانك انت هتلقى
And that resistance, the only thing that can surpass the resistance is what? As engaged warfare.
وهي الحرب الوحيد اللي بيقدر يمشي ويعدي المقاومه ده هو الحرب.
And then at the end is that you're going to establish, you're going to plant.
بعد كده في النهايه بعد ما تحكم وبعد كده تبني.
Do you think the enemy is going to allow you to plant something and it's going to be looking for you? He's just going to be watching you planting it.
وهيعملك وهيخليك تكون.
They will never allow you because they don't want anything good to happen. For you to plant it, you have to war to plant it.
تبني انت محتاج تحارب.
To plant health in your life, in your family,
في حياتك
you have to war.
انت محتاج تحارب.
For you to plant success, prosperity in your life and your family, you have to war.
عشان تبني صحة وازدهار
ونجاح. For you to plant success, for you to plan reservation, protection, for you, for your life, for your family, is warfare. Because you're planting, you want to establish something. And what you want to establish, there are spirits making sure you're not going to do it. Because that's the job, is to resist everything that is good. So for you to make sure that is happening, so this is the types of prayer. So get to know what type of prayer you are praying. And know that every type of prayer is different from each other. And each one requires a certain posture or a certain requirement, a certain understanding. In fellowship, it requires brokenness. To be broken before this God. In fellowship, that's when you can worship Him. You cannot worship God if you are not broken. Because you are full of yourself. How can you worship Him? How can you praise Him? You need to be broken so you can have fellowship with Him. When you come to requesting, you have to be a person who already pleases God for Him to be able to grant you a request. That's why He says, if I found favor in your eyes. The only reason they can find favor in the eyes of God is when they are pleasing to God. How can you be pleasing to Him? It's when you love God. When you honor Him, that is a condition for Him to grant you your request. And then say, ask. What is the condition for asking? Is that you are to know His will. When you know the will of God, you can ask according to His will. That's the only condition for you to ask. Is to know His will. When you know His will, you gotta ask accordingly. And then, number 4, intercession. For you to intercede, it needs you to have love for people. When you care for people. If you don't love people, if you don't care about people, if you don't have the love of Christ, if the love of Christ is not established in you, you cannot pray for other people. You cannot stand in the gap for other people because there is Christ's love. Because it's not something that has to do with you, it's has to do with other people. That's what the love of Jesus does for you. When you know this is not my problem, but because I care for that person, I'm going to care for them. I'm going to leave them. I'm going to leave them before the throne of grace. So that is the condition for intercession.
فده شرط.
And lastly, the condition for warfare
واخر حاجه الشرط بتاعت
is what? Is boldness.
اللي هو بعد كده جراءة.
Boldness and faith.
جراءة وإيمان.
You cannot get into warfare if you are
انت
fearful.
ما هتقدر تخش في حرب زي انت.
You get into warfare with boldness,
لكن انت بتقدر تحارب
with tenacity, with force.
تحارب بجراءة وبقوة.
There's a condition for warfare. Boldness and faith.
وفي شرط لحرب اللي هو جراءة.
Because when you war,
لأنك انت لما تحارب.
your voice have to show that you are warring.
لأنه صوتك محتاج يوري.
Evil spirits, they have to know.
حتى الأرواح محتاجين يعرفوا.
Your voice have to show.
صوتك محتاج يوري.
And then also faith have to be there.
وبعد كده إيمان محتاج يكون هناك.
That there is faith that always as you war, the victory is yours.
لأنه إيمان بإنه
as you war,
تحارب.
you have faith. You're going to always be victorious.
بإنه أنت دوما هتكون منتصر.
Because he said, blessed is the Lord our God who always causes us to triumph.
لأنه بيقول مبارك الله اللي بيخلينا دوما إنه إحنا.
Always, not sometimes.
اللي بيخلينا دوما إنه إحنا نكون منتصرين.
So these are the conditions.
وده الشروط.
So fellowship, condition of fellowship,
الشرط بتاع
brokenness
الانكسار
before God.
قدام الله.
Request
الطلب.
is that when you are pleasing to God,
بإنك أنت لما
when you love Him,
الله تكون بتحبه.
when you fear Him,
لما تخاف.
asking
لما تسأل.
is when you know His word, when you know His will,
لما تعرف كلمة وتعرف مشيئته.
and then intercession
ولما تشفع.
is when you have love for people,
لما تكون المحبة.
the love of Christ in you,
محبة المسيح.
and then warfare
حرب.
is when you have faith,
لما تكون أنت.
and when there is boldness.